All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this week's Rookie Rumble here at Lanes Raceway, August the 13th, 2023. We got a packed house here tonight. Everybody's wanting to rumble around in the Rookie Rumble. Dalton Darty got a refresh on his car. Hopefully he'll be able to keep up with the boys. For some reason or another, it slipped through the cracks. Forgot to solder in his rear bushing, so he should be up there with the guys tonight. We'll see how well he handles in this race. Of course, he did quite well earlier in the Little Rumble. Didn't want to do an interview, so we didn't do it with him. But, man, he come back all the way from last and made it to third place. So we'll see how well he does tonight here. Carson Ross and on the red lane, Dalton Darty on the white lane, Bruce Bullington on green, Guillermo Sire on orange, Jay Latham on blue, Jackson Darty on yellow, and Weston Durham on purple. My wife's going to be track marshalling with possibly the help with Big Daddy 3, also known as Glendis. I don't know if he's going to roll out or not, but he is partaking in a little bit of icy action. So let's get this baby underway. All right, racers, watch your lights. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's going to be an exciting little race that we got going on here. Four lights drop out to green right out of the gate. The yellow car of Jackson coming out. Several wrecks taking place so far. Full heat of cars here. Going to be tough to roll through for sure. We see Guillermo kind of coming over, just filling some spots here. He's not actually in the Rookie Rumble, but he just wants to race it tonight, hang out with the guys. Current leader right now, Jay Latham with 8 laps, now turning 9. Looks like Dalton holding off, getting involved in a little bit of an incident there between him and Carson there. Both of them running really hard and aggressive up top. Jay Latham out in the lead there on blue lane, though, rushing pretty hard. Weston down low, 24 laps. Got him a fresh body, sponsored by Bruce Bullington. Very close mid-range here. Guillermo, Weston, and Jackson all on 42. Jay Latham out in the lead with 44. A full speed come apart. Several cars involved in that. Carson, Jackson, and Guillermo Sire. Four red lights going to drop out to a green. And then we're back to racing. $15 seconds left to go in this heat. Get a red flag rotation. And it looks like Weston going to be in the lead after the first round. Weston's got 54 total laps, followed by Jay Latham with 54, Jackson with 53, Guillermo Sire 52, Bruce Bullington 49, Dalton Darty with 45, and Carson Ross 43. leave you guys with the current standings as of August 6th and be right back with you. All right, had to do a little bit of preliminary work there on Dalton's car there. As we cut his body down to where it would pass tech like the other cars. Those Mid-America bodies, they tend to be too high up in the air. By cutting it down that low to where it would pass tech, in turn, it ended up catching into his rear tire. So as we can see, Dalton's car very much handling quite well. Now, of course, he doesn't have a rear end in that body, but it is the body he has. My wife's going to go ahead and hit the track call button as Weston probably was in the trigger there, keeping her from getting his car put in. Jay Latham back in the lead with 82 laps, followed to Weston down there with 83. Down low, Jay and Weston really hitting hard as we hear in the high banks. Their cars actually dragging. What a race we're having here, folks. These guys ain't looking like rookies, but like pros. Great heat, racers. Great heat. What a heat. Weston going to be in the lead after that heat with 111 laps, followed by Jay Latham. Jackson Darty, 107, down in third place. Guillermo Sire, 104. Bruce Bullington, 103. Carson Ross, 95. And Dalton Darty, 93. So we can see Dalton Darty really charging with 48 total laps there on red. 5 laps better than Carson there. So whatever we've done to that car has definitely helped. Guillermo Sire turned 52 on white, and Dalton only able to turn 45. So as we can tell, looks like Guillermo Sire's got a pretty fast little car, but almost like middle ranges out there in the orange lane, as it was only able to turn 52 also. So we'll continue on and see how things go, but everything's looking like it's on the up and up. Be right back with you here just shortly. That was Guillermo there. He's running back to get to his car in time. 4 red lights. He's got plenty of times before it drops out. But he was asking about some of the upcoming series and what that entailed. 4-inch GRCs, going to be 2 of our series. And then, of course, the IndyCar is going to be 1, and our 4.5-inch GRC, which is our Rookie Rumble that you're seeing right now. This series is going to go live again coming up next. So for our next series. Very, very close racing. Only 2 wrecks so far, but that one there collected several of the guys. Probably got some bent cars here now. 36 seconds left to go in this heat. Almost a full J there. One car shy of it. Bruce Bullington's car. And that's a red flag rotation. As we can see, Jay Latham 168, Weston 165, Bruce 160, Jackson 157, Guillermo 153, Carson 148, and Dalton 136. We'll leave you with the current scores. Be right back with you. All right, so I had to take a quick look at Dalton's car again. It looks like the rear is good. Now what we got an issue with is where the motor's been hiked up, where it's been hitting the rear. But trying to get him to where he's in working order with the rest of the guys here. I don't think it's going to take a long time to get it fixed. We can already see him speeding up a little bit right now there on blue. Now, of course, we're going to see what these laps are in comparison to some of our more average racers here like Jay and Jackson. And if he's relatively within the means, then we know we got him decent. But yeah, that's my fault, folks. I'm supposed to, if they get in the series, which he is in, I'm supposed to be able to make them to where that they're able to be close to winning. Now we can see him turning a 2.257 there on blue, so that's relatively close. That's definitely winnable if he can keep the car in the slot. These kids are just having fun. It's funny to see these kids have so much fun in the races here. Of course, this is a rookie race. It's going to be a lot of wrecks probably take place. It's just the way it is. People's got to step up somehow. If you get in this and you're a pro racer, you definitely can't take it to heart for sure. As most of these kids are just trying their best to race, you know. But yeah, we see a 2.27 and a 2.219 there. He's running definitely in the means with everyone else now. And his car's looking pretty good, nice and smooth. So we oiled up the bushings and stuff in the back too, helped him free it up. About the only thing I would do now to Dalton's car is I would completely tear it down. I know this is the only thing, but I would completely tear it back down to the floor, make sure the chassis is all the way 100% flat again, because it took several hits since he's got it. Flatten that baby back out, make sure the motor is in tow, screwed, flat, and true. But I mean, as you can tell, it's even with the motor up in the air, it's still handling quite well. The issue that you have is it's about 1/8 of an inch up in the air, so that's 1/8 of an inch of your weight being up high, so you're not going to be able to go through the transition of Dead Man's Corner quite as efficiently as the others that have their motor down, because you're increasing the center of gravity. But the biggest thing that was killing Dalton was simply that his body was just so high up in the air. All those wind forces, whenever they go into Dead Man's Corner, that's a lot of side downforce. And it's hitting the side of that car trying to push it out like a big sail on a sailboat. So the lower you got that, the easier it goes through the wind. And we've now got him cut down. He's streamlining now. You can see he's able to catch the guys on the higher portion of the track. And this is what we want. We want the guys to be able to run neck and neck, nice and easy with one another. And as long as Dalton pushes a little bit harder there through the Dead Man's Corner without coming out, he should be a front runner for sure. See down low below him, Jay Latham running that yellow lane. As he blips up and lets Jay take the high side, what a move. As he predicted, I guess, that Jay was going to try to rush through and bounce off of him. And Dalton kind of lifted and let Jay go ahead and sail her on through the corner there. These are the kind of moves Dalton's going to need to move up. And, of course, you know, I'm kind of focusing in on Dalton, but he is a part of the Rookie Rumble like everybody else down low. You know, it looks like he's just getting ran off and left. But sometimes in working in these cars, you got to find that happy medium, and I think we might have found it here for him as we're going to continue on to work on this car. And it's something to talk about for this race, trying to get him up with the rest of the guys. As we can see, Jay Latham there currently in the lead, 223. Bruce Bullington, 219. Weston Durham with 215. Jackson 204. Carson, 203. 202 of Guillermo Sire, and 185 of Dalton. And here we are back racing. We got a couple cars already off up in the high banks portion of the track there. The orange car of Guillermo Sire and the teal car of Carson. Of course, Carson's car moving on quite well again. Did a little work on him earlier today also. And Jackson, I believe. Him and Jackson both. Or Weston. Weston and Jackson both got him a set of tires. Not too bad for a full series of racing, a set of tires. So these guys are, they're running them hard, folks. Don't get me wrong. They come in here during the day. They do a lot of practicing. And it's starting to show. These guys, I mean, even though they can enter this rookie series again, other than whoever wins it, I really believe they're ready to move on. Every single body here is, just from what I'm looking at, they're ready to move. We now see Dalton's car turning right at that threshold we want to see. We want to see a little bit lower than a 2-second best lap. And it looks like on average he's running a 2.1. So we want to see that car just a hair bit faster, but he's right there, right in the average for sure. And I'm going to continue working on it. And like I said, it was my fault. I told the people, everybody that would join the series, we'd sort of the rear bushings in for them and everything, and it was just one that slipped through the cracks. Of course, I was doing, I think, a live stream when that got sold, and my wife sold it, and I just forgot all about sorting the bushings in it. So we got it sorted in now, but I think the issue we have now is where it's been sloppy this whole time. We probably egg-shaped the bushings. So we'll put a fresh set of bushings in his car. We'll get him flattened back out. Probably get his mesh of his gear ratio set right and everything. Put a set of Velcro, a little bit better set of Velcro there on the body to get him ready to roll. And I think he'll be good to go. Like I said, the car is moving on right now. And what I'm seeing here is the car is doing quite well. But could it do better? It could. And the reason why is because the chassis is bent. And the reason why the chassis is bent, and he's been having a hard time staying on, could have very well been attributed to me not getting those rear bushings sorted in for him, and that slop causing the car to act unpredictable. But we can see him here actually holding off Black Lane pretty well of Carson. Carson getting a little bit on him as, Carson's driving her just a hair bit deeper. But a nice clean pass done by Carson there, as we see. And we also see Dalton there turning 42 laps. That's second best laps turn there next to Bruce and Carson. Carson, of course, turning 43 and Bruce turning 43. So if he keeps this up, he's going to start his climb for sure. Nine seconds left to go in this heat, and Jay Latham, he's been on a tear here lately, folks, finishing up to the top here. Action Jackson having some troubles here with his car currently. And we're about to see another red flag rotation here. And there we go, red flag rotation. Jay Latham, your current leader right now. 276 total laps, followed by Bruce Bullington with 272. Weston Durham, third place, baby. Since that new body got put on there, he's been hammering it home, folks. 263 total laps. Carson Ross there, 259. Guillermo Sire, 254. Action Jackson, 252. And Dalton Darty, 238. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here are a big old cluster on the front stretch of the track coming out of the high banks there. Several cars involved and a couple other cars on the back stretch. One of them being Bruce Bullington there on orange, fighting for the lead. And a full speed come apart as we get every car but two to wreck. Jay Latham in the lead, 282 laps. What a race he's been having here. Him and Jackson really been rivals here as of late. Jackson, though, kind of falling to the bottom here tonight, having a rough go of it. Dalton, though, increasing his lap putouts tonight. Not doing actually too bad here, especially turning a 2.080 as his best lap. Currently the fastest lap turned here right now. 2.13 is his median. That's second fastest next to him and Guillermo Sire. So if he can keep the car on while running those speeds, definitely competitive. I believe that was Bruce Bullington's car getting sent to the wall. Bruce saying he owes Jackson one. Carson getting involved in an incident there. A couple cars bouncing off of him. So we get a car from yellow lane. That's Carson's car rolling high side. Looks like Guillermo Sire's car getting caught up in a little bit of a altercation there between him and Dalton. .42 seconds left to go. Weston, what a run he's having here tonight, holding up that third place position by 1 lap to Carson. Guillermo Sire by 2 laps, and Action Jackson, man, having a rough one tonight. They all can't be good, as Jackson's been a front runner since the very beginning here in the Rookie Rumble and the Little Rumble. Jay Bruce and Weston, man, what a race they're having. Carson fighting for that too, as Carson wants a piece of the pie. He's going to press the subject there with Weston. If he can keep his car on, he'll probably see a switch. So we see Guillermo Sire now passing Carson with that 304. Guillermo actually trying to run up there with Jay and Bruce. Action Jackson about to turn his 300th lap. 13 seconds left to go. Dalton there with 287. Several people getting involved in the incident there. Ooh, so we get 3 cars getting completely pummeled there. One of them was Weston and Guillermo Sire, and the last one I believe was Dalton involved in that altercation. What a hard hit. And a red flag rotation. We're going to see yet again Jay Latham on top, folks. 2 heats remaining here in this race. 326 total laps turned by Jay Latham. Bruce Bullington 324. Carson and Guillermo tied with 311. Weston right there knocking on the gates with 310. Action Jackson 304 and Dalton Darty 291. Very close racing here, folks. Stay tuned as I leave you here with the current standings of August the 6th. So Action Jackson just come up in here. Of course, we're finding out why he's having such an issue here. His motor's raised up just like Dalton's is. So these are issues that can be solved, but not solved within the amount of time that it takes to do a pit call. Yellow flag, a full speed come apart. My wife's just coming back. She was going to go order some food. But alas, the place next door is currently closed. Sad. Nonetheless, I digress. We rolling on. Fast Racers here tonight. Like I said, Jay, he's been on a tear the past couple weeks. Might need to share some advice with the other racers out there having such a hard time. 1 minute and 13 seconds left to go, but I do know that Jackson and Dalton, their motors are sky high up in the air. We see Dalton making somewhat of a resurgence here, turning some pretty good times down there on yellow lane. He's just got to keep that car in and push hard these next couple of lanes and do the best that he can do. Car coming completely off the track there. We can see that Guillermo Sire, our current leader of laps turned. Jackson and Dalton turning 22 laps respectively. They're neck and neck with one another. Of course, Dalton beating him out a little bit, averagely speaking, by about a tenth of a second. See the computer trying to shake up there a little bit and catch up. Karsten Ross, ladies and gentlemen. What a race he's been having here is he's out there out front pretty good. Tied up with Weston. Him and Weston both having a great race, trying to battle these adults here. Of course, Guillermo Sire not in the series, so he's going to be dropped from the leaderboard, but he just wanted to get in a race. $30 seconds left to go. One more heat after this. That's it, folks. So got to make your time while you can. So we can see Dalton on a tear here on the yellow lane. 47 laps turned here. Guillermo Sire turning 52. But he's got it within 10 laps of him and Jackson. And that's a red flag rotation. As we can see after the heat's over, Jay Latham still out in the lead, 373 laps. Followed by Bruce Bullington, 372, Guillermo Sire, 371, Carson, 361, Weston, 360, Jackson, 356, and 346 of Dalton, turning his fastest amount of laps turned of 55 that heat. tied with Jay Latham, our leader. Dalton coming alive here in the past couple of heats. His purple lane, black lane, and yellow lane pretty stellar in the 50s and doing quite well. Even surpassing brother Jackson there by 1 lap on purple. We're going to see what Jackson can turn this last heat on black and see if there's any comparison here between Dalton and Jackson here. Dalton may be able to maybe make a come up here. He's going to have to gain a couple more laps, though, to be able to fight Big Brother. All right, folks, here we go. 4 red lights dropping out to green. Your leader in the high banks there on green. Jay Latham up above him. Carson, what a race he's having tonight, too. Jay Latham in the Aflac car. This will make 3 weeks in a row, I think he's got first place. Bruce Bullington, though, he's not going out without a fight. He's trying to get a couple laps there on red. It's him and rival Action Jackson on the same lane there. Bruce going to go ahead and put Jackson down there on black. Woo, what a jump. Ooh, we get several cars getting involved in the incident. Our top 2 there in the high banks, Jay Latham and Bruce Bullington. I'm sorry, our top 2 now is Guillermo Sire and Jay Latham. Guillermo Sire down there in Dead Man's Corner on yellow. One second, folks. We'll be right back with you. Just got the charts here. For the Rookie Rumble, Jay Latham right now at 4:02. His last race, August the 6th, turning a 4:25. Ow. Action Jackson, 385. He hasn't done a 300 race in quite some time. The last time he done a 300 race was June the 11th. So Jackson having quite a few issues here tonight. Carson running a 393 currently. Excellent. He's it's going to be one of his faster races this season. So Carson doing great tonight. 4:11, I believe, is the highest Carson has ever done. And he's going to be pretty close to that. We'll go over it a little bit more as we progress through the rest of this heat. But Dalton, 390. See what he's done. Never done this high. Dalton, well, I'll take that back. He's done a 391 and a 401. So if he can beat 401, he'll beat his all-time high. What a race Dalton had, 399. 2 laps different from his all-time great that he done July the 2nd.
Since Guillermo is not in the series, he doesn't count. So will Jay be first?
Jay, Bruce, and Weston. All right, Jay, Bruce, and Weston, will you please step up for your pictures? All right, we see Guillermo Sire take home the victory there for tonight's race. Of course, he's not in the series, so we go ahead and drop him out, and we'll drop that down to Jay Latham that gets first place, that qualifies for victory. Bruce Bullington second, and Weston for third. So what a great race. Looks like Guillermo should have got in this series. I would have done him good. 60 laps turned on black. What a heat he had there. But I'll tell you what, Jay Latham, 426. Just a couple laps shy of his all-time great of 428 that he ran July the 16th. Bruce Bullington, 422. That's a good run for Bruce, too. 422, just looking at it right here. Oh, where's my other sheet? I dropped the sheet. Oh, wait, no, I got the full sheet here. Okay, so Bruce Bullington, 412 was his most he's ever run, and he ran a 422 tonight. Wow. Them boys have got a garage of race cars going, him and Jay and Bruce increasing it. You can put him in the picture if you want. Weston, 414. The best he's ever ran, folks. Previously, 410 was the best he ran. So Weston coming up in the field, really running hard. Carson, like I said, 411. He's ran a 411 before, and he's tied his best time with a 411. Jackson with a 410. Not his best. His best was a 424. So he's dropped down a little bit. Like I said, Dalton, a 399, almost his best. 401 was his best, and he done a 399. That is 8 laps better than last week. Folks, all I got to say is tonight, what a race. Great race, a lot of back and forth, and some really fast runners. This is Donovan Kirtley here at Lanes Raceway. Join back with us here coming up Thursday for the LMP Thunder race. We're coming down to the last few races in this series. So if you want to see how it pans out, stay tuned to Facebook as we'll get those updated and posted within the week and see where everybody stands coming into the new week Thursday. Check also updates on 94.7 WBIO for the Let's Talk Racing show with Blake Smith. And definitely just, like I said, stay